Let's take a look at some tools that we can use to manage document revisions. Your document might need to be reviewed by different colleagues in your organization before it's finalized. You can maintain a record of who makes which changes, and then you can choose to accept or reject each change. You can use the Track Changes feature to view changes and comments, and you can see changes made by a specific reviewer. A reviewer is just a person who's gone out and made some sort of an addition or change to the document. Now, by default, documents are not set up to record revisions. You have to turn on the Track Changes feature to record any changes made to a document. We come out to the Review tab, and we can see this under the Track Changes area here, which is in the Tracking group under the Review tab. To turn on and off tracking changes, you can just click this top button here to turn it on and click it again to turn it off. If you'd like to set up the options for tracking, that is, when changes are made, how is it recorded? What visual effects do you see on the page to make note of these changes? You can come up under the Track Changes, and in the bottom half of the button, click the drop down arrow and choose Change Tracking Options. And it brings up the Change or the Track Changes Options dialog. Now in my setup, I have it so that insertions are noted with an underline, and the underline is blue. Deletions are noted with a strike through of the text, and they are red. And down here a little farther, you can also check how text is moved around. So if you've taken one paragraph and moved it from one place into the document to another, you can note that. If it's moved from a given spot, that area is denoted with a double strike through that's green. If it's moved to a different spot, there is a double underline, and that is also green. You can also set up other table highlighting effects. You can adjust how any of the notes made by comments or the balloons, how they are positioned on the page. So a little experimentation with this, and you can customize the way your revisions are recorded. I'm going to go ahead and click OK. Once I have this set up, I'm going to come back under Tracking. I'm going to go ahead and click the top half of the button to turn on Track Changes. I'm going to go ahead and make an insertion right after the word restaurants, right in front of the space character. I'm going to go ahead and click once and type in some text. And you can see as when I type in the text, it goes ahead and marks as I type. And this is because under the tracking options I set up earlier, I noted that insertions should be blue with an underline. Next, I'll go ahead and perform a insertion and deletion at the same time. I'm going to come up under Project Team, and I'm going to double click the word Group, and I'm going to go ahead and type in the word Team. You can see since it's an insertion, I get the blue text showing up with the underline, but off on the right I see a little balloon that says that it's been deleted, and it shows me the word that was deleted, which was group. You can also see a vertical line to the left of the line where I made the change right here, just as a visual note to be able to view where changes are made. Next, I'll move to the end of the document by doing a Control End, and I'm going to go ahead and delete a paragraph here. I'm going to go ahead and select these last two paragraphs and just press my delete key, and a balloon on the right hand side shows me the text that's been deleted. Now if you happen to be in Draft View doesn't like to show the margins of a document, so we're going to have trouble seeing this out here in the margin in Draft View. Well, they've taken care of that. If I come down here and click my Draft View button, and my view button's down here in the bottom right corner, it's the last one, you can see that it shows me the deletions inline, and this is where it's been where we denoted back under the options where we set this up to strike through and color red. We see that right here on the document itself. I'm going to go ahead and move back to Print Layout View, and I'm going to move back to the top of the document. I'll just do a Control Home. Now starting up here at the top, I'm going to go ahead and review my changes, where I can accept or reject these changes. I'm going to come up under my Changes group in the Review tab and choose Next, and it shows me my first change to the document. Now from here I can go ahead and accept the change if I'd like, and if I click on Accept, it goes ahead and accepts my change and then moves on down to the next entry, and I'm going to go ahead and click on Reject to reject that change, and it puts back in the word Group. Team is still in there. If I click on Reject again, it takes out the word Reject. It puts back in the word Group, as we can see here. And I'll move a little farther down to the document. Under the Review tab, I'll click on Next, and I'm going to go ahead and reject the change as well. A little warning tells me I've reached the end of the document. I'm going to go ahead and just click OK, and I've finished my review for this document. Next, let's move some text. I'm going to select Ron Timmons, Senior Buyer, and I'm going to select both paragraphs here, both the Ron Timmons and then Ron's role, and I'm going to just, with this selected, I'm just going to hold down my mouse and drag this up next to Aline McElvoy and let go, and you can see the notation that this has been moved with the green underlined text that we have out here. I'm just going to click the right arrow key to move to the very end, and I'm going to go ahead and press the enter key twice to give myself a little bit of room between one paragraph and the other. Also note that down here at the bottom it also shows me that there was some text here that's been moved, and it shows me the text that was moved, which of course is now up here.